What's up, guys? Edward here, Old Place Outdoors, and just wanted to jump on here today and talk to you real quick about a couple of products and somewhat of a gear review, or looking at a couple of products. I've got two things that we're going to go over today, and totally gear related, or turkey gear related. And for one, we've got this Stevens 301. This is a 410 that was designed to specifically shoot the TSS loads that are so popular now. Bought this gun a couple years ago when my kids started getting a little bit older and ready to start shooting. I had originally had them a couple of 20 gauges, which I've actually kind of acquired for myself as one of those. Bought this gun, and my daughter had killed her first turkey with an old 410 that I had as a kid. And so I thought that with the payload that the TSS delivers now, that this would be a good little setup for them. And so, but all that said, I had a kind of a cheap True Glow red dot scope on here affixed to it, and it lasted for probably about 3 or 4 years. I had it on there and did pretty good with nothing more than battery changes. But then on Sunday, my wife and I, and she was shooting this, the scope just decided that it was time to retire. So got another little red dot optic that I've acquired that we're going to put on there. Going to do an unboxing of it and talk about it here in just a second and look at it. But a couple things with the 301. Of course, it's in that bottomland finish, which I really like. Everything's better in bottomland. I do remember when I got this gun that one thing that was a little bit disappointing, and it won't focus, but right here out of the box, it had a little bit of a mar on the finish. And, you know, because of the trouble with when you ship a gun to an FFL and everything, it was, you know, just a little bit disappointing, but just kind of chose to live with it. But all in all, it's been a great gun. And what I do like about these, especially for my youth hunters, my kids, and got plans for my nephews and whatnot to be able to use this as well. You know, good old fashioned, safe break action style design with that nice hammer to pull back for safety. But one thing that's cool about that, it's got an incorporated safety. So once this is pulled back, you can sweep this safety. And that way, you know, if you got a kid or an inexperienced hunter, you can still have it in a little bit of a safe mode, even when the turkey maybe is approaching, and then it's there in an easy manner to sweep that safety. I do always say that, you know, with this gun here, the only true safety is having that hammer all the way down. So, you know, just keep that in mind walking around with it, whatnot. Don't rely on just that little safety, because you will find that even with that safety in place, it, you know, if the trigger pulls, it drops pretty hard, and I wouldn't want to rely on that man-made function, so to speak, just to be that extra safety. So make sure and drop that hammer down and take the tension off of that before, you know, only until you're ready to shoot, have that hammer back, is what I always say. Just treat it just like an old-fashioned single or break action barrel. So but great gun, had really good results. My daughters have been able to, you know, capitalize on some great birds with this 301 with the use of the right loads. And like I said, had a kind of a little cheap True Glow that I had thrown on there, because it when I bought a scope a few years back, Vortec had or Midway, shall I say, they had a incentive where if you bought a Vortec optic, you got like a $30 or $40 gift card, and I utilized that just to buy an optic to put on this. And all that said, though, let's jump into the red dot and let's look at that, what I've picked out for it. I've owned and still own several Vortec Venoms and have that on a few different turkey guns, but decided to try something a little bit different this time. This is the Burris Fast Fire 3, and read some pretty good things about it. Read a few cons too that had me a little bit concerned, but all in all, I thought for the money that this would be a good option to put on this one, and found a really good price on it. I got this for $185, give or take, shipped, and I think I ordered this on Tuesday morning, and it's now Thursday afternoon, and it's here. I've got time to mount this up, get it down with some Loctite and everything, and put some shots down range to see what it's going to do. And let's go ahead and start the unboxing real quick. All right, so like I said, just picked this up on eBay. It was super fast shipping, really good price, and like I said, $185, and it was here. One thing I noticed too when this came in, I'll read this for you. It's got a forever, no questions asked warranty, no repair, replacement charge, no warranty card needed, no receipt needed, no questions asked. So Right out the gate, that's really good to know, because if you've ran some optics long enough, then you're eventually going to run into some issues where you need to contact the manufacturer to get some repair or replacement. And so just opening it up, you can see here right out the plastic, it's got a nice little protective pad that everything sits in. Got a cool little tweaker screwdriver that will come in handy while mounting this up and for some other purposes. Check out the little sunshade there next, kind of nice. Hopefully that'll knock down on some of that glare. Comes with a battery, I see. That's a good thing, because I don't keep that size. I got the size for my Venoms in my garage. I got a torque wrench there, or a Torx head wrench, and then there's me a base for my Picatinny rail and a few extra screws. So let's open this up and we'll just put the sight in there and see what we think. I like it because it seems rugged and compact right out of the box there. So there you have it. You can see up close what we got. One thing I'd read about some of the other fast fires is the battery compartment was on the bottom, but as you can see, they put that on the top, which I feel like is pretty important with, especially, you know, turkey hunting. One thing that I will speak of on the top mounted is when you set that battery, make sure that, you know, you button that compartment down well, because I was in Ohio one time. I had set up a couple of guns, and it's really, at the end of the day, it's my fault, but a buddy of mine, he ordered a kind of a bundle deal of a couple of different vortexes, and they came in, and he went ahead and put the batteries in there, and I don't think he put the battery compartment's head or cap back on there tight enough, because we sat in 2 days worth of rain, and by the time we got to the next state, I was having some pretty severe problems with my optics, and I was fortunate enough to have been smart enough to pack a backup shotgun to continue on with my hunt. But all that said, make sure and button those things down. All right, so real quick before we get on the bench here, I want to show you a couple things that I wanted to mention too. The battery compartment did not specify which way the battery goes. So the positive side, or the largest flat side that you see here in your battery, is going to be facing up. So I'll be installing that now, and just thought I'd mention that. The manual is tucked under in the box here. The manual is under that little padding that everything's kind of in, so you got to pull that foam padding out, and it's kind of affixed to the bottom of that pad. And there's also a lens cleaning cloth in there, just an FYI. So just gently gonna keep my hands off the lens and everything though. I'm gonna slide that right into place, and then replace my battery cover. And again, just kind of easing it in there, letting everything kind of fall into place naturally. I'm gonna use this little screwdriver to start it with. I'll probably go get a little bit of a wider tip though to button it down with, so it gets a cleaner bite. And you do want to make sure that you get that cap started correctly. You would hate to cross thread this. If it doesn't feel like it's going, then don't force it. Yep, so I'm gonna go and I'll get me a little bit, as you can see, that slot in there is a little bit wider than the tweaker that they bring with it. So I'm gonna or send with it. So I'm gonna get one that's a bit wider and can get a full bite on that. So stay tuned. All right, gonna be shooting the Apex Turkey 410s. This is TSS, marked at 25 yards. Sorry for the shake on the table. Should be right on the money. We're gonna see. little bounce there. All right, so right there you can see not a bad pattern at 25. Definitely some open areas, and not a great pattern either, honestly, for 25 yards. Dead turkey, yes, but I went ahead and took my Sharpie and made some dots where some of these strays were at, because I don't know, I just don't like to waste a bunch of open target space. So I'm gonna try a different round, a different load of TSS, and see if it patterns better. I've found that in that gun with that choke, the Apex did not perform like some of my other loads that I've used before. So we're gonna try some different stuff real quick. All right, next up I'm gonna try this Herter's number 9s TSS, and this actually patterned pretty good. I've had best results with this choke and this gun with the Browning, and I've got a box of them around here, and I cannot seem to put my finger on them. So just trying what I got for now. Sorry about the shake. I'm gonna be shooting the one on the right. It's already got a few strays there, but all right, as you can see, that one has a little bit better of a pattern at that distance. A lot less medium or open blank space, I guess you could say. Looks like the point of impact was a little bit low and right on that one. Could have been me, but not a bad pattern for a 410 at 25 yards.